Hello, this is StopFake News. We disprove fake news about the events occurring in Ukraine. Today I'm I'm going to refute more fake news stories. This week, the Channel 1 mistranslated comments by Jennifer Psaki in order to provide grounds for blaming the USA for financing the revolution in Hong Kong. The live news website insisted on mythic violence scenes during a performance in the Zaporizhia region organized for war veterans. A range of Ukrainian mass media have spread news running that Chinese army forces are shelling Russian soldiers, referring to a mythic article by Live News. During a live interview, former Russian RBK channel's journalist refuted information about aggressive mood of Kyiv citizens. Lost in translation is so typical for Russian mass media. The Channel 1's news program on the 15th of October showed a fragment from a briefing involving the participation of the spokesperson for the United States Department of State, Jennifer Psaki, where she allegedly admitted that the US had provided funds for the revolution in Hong Kong.
But has the US government, the executive power, dictated any organization in Hong Kong how to spend the money allocated?
Well, that is how the finance system works, so yes, it has.
However, the Channel 1 appeared to have mistranslated the answer by Jennifer Psaki on journalist Matthew Lee's question, and the full-length briefing provided on the official website of the United States Department of State can prove such misinterpretation. Yes was the response to the question that the US has never dictated what to spend money on, affirming thus the US non-intervention policy. Besides, comparing the authentic 44-minute video of the briefing provided on YouTube with the Channel 1's news report, one can notice video fragments edited by the Russian channel. Out of the 44 minutes, they took 2 fragments with a surprised journalist and his laughing colleagues to demonstrate the response of others on Ms. Psaki's comments. Thus, there is a suggestion that even American journalists were allegedly astonished and smiled at her response, but the original video shows nobody smiling or laughing during this particular moment. One can also notice a journalist sitting near to Matthew Lee, who asked questions and kept playing with his glasses. At the moment the journalist was captured wearing the astonished look, Matthew Lee, sitting left below, can be noticed wearing glasses, but then he was waiting for comments on his answers, and his glasses are distinctly seen in his hands. StopFake.org disproves news concerning the events around Ukraine. At first sight, the revolution in Hong Kong and the funds matter between the US and Hong Kong organizations have nothing to do with Ukraine. But with the help of the Channel 1, the equivalent seems to me that the US sponsors all kinds of revolutions, including the one in Hong Kong as well as in Ukraine. Referring to Russian channel Live News, some Ukrainian media sources have spread fake news running China has allegedly attacked Russia. The battles at the frontier zone allegedly killed 16 soldiers of the Russian Federation. As a proof, they quote Russian Minister of Foreign Affairs Sergei Lavrov, who allegedly mentioned about massive shell fire from the territory of China, referring to a corresponding decree by Vladimir Putin to place the forces of the Eastern District on an alert footing, as well as mass media materials and messages of abstract local bloggers. However, all this evidence appeared to be exaggerated by an unknown author. None of other sources confirm the information about China's aggressive policy towards Russia, neither the official website of Russian president, nor the websites of Russian Ministry of Defense or Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. There are no other official confirmations to the fact, both by Russia and China. The websites of Live News and Censor.net, the authors of the news story referred to, do not provide any information on the event either. It should be noted that such barefaced lie, with Ukrainian mass media failing to check the authenticity of the information, works in the favor of Russian propaganda. This provides representatives of well-known pro-Kremlin media sources with an opportunity to refer to another proof of Ukrainian mass media publishing untrue news, and to make up thus even more fake news stories. But Live News mentioned earlier was still caught in lie. It published a report titled "War Veterans Were Honored with Violent Scenes in Zaporizhia." The concert program included a performance which, according to Russian journalists, allegedly contained violent scenes where Ukrainian women were raped by the Red Army soldiers. Live News assures most war veterans left the concert feeling offended. Some witness of the performance present at the concert, whose identity of course was concealed, was said to have provided the information. He is said to have shared the news from Live News through Vkontakte social networking in all details. However, no other proofs have been ever given. Later, the Zaporizhian website spread news titled "Russian mass media provoke war veterans in Zaporizhia," as well as a supporting video report. It runs that Live News distorted the facts and lied. After publishing the report, Live News showed its intention to buy the authentic records of the live performance, trying thus to hide the proofs of their lie. Channels in Zaporizhia refused to give the record to Russian journalists in order to avoid further manipulation and fake news stories. Journalists who were present at the performance say there was a dance involving Ukrainian women and the Red Army soldiers. Some its fragments were broadcast by Zaporizhia media, but it contained no violent scenes. Russian mass media sometimes do fail to stick to their plan. For instance, former anchorwoman of RBK channel Maria Stroeva told in her live interview that the local population in Kiev demonstrated no aggressive attitude or moods and an intention to gather for a new Maidan revolution to overthrow the authority. Despite the expectations of the anchorwoman, who insisted on the fact that moods of extremism were widespread in Kiev city, Ms. Stroeva told that Kiev streets were calm and the unrest near the parliament building was to be blamed on provocateurs. But ordinary citizens of the capital Kiev are against violence.
Calm atmosphere is prevailing in Kiev, and people are completely against any manifestations of aggression and the escalation of tension in the country on the whole. Kiev is a very peaceful city, and friends of mine who live here call it urban resort. There are no manifestations of aggression as compared perhaps to Moscow. This is my opinion.
Today Maria Stroeva lives and works in Kiev. You watched the 30th episode of StopFake News. Thank you for your support. Follow our news to learn more about further development of the events. You can also follow our YouTube reports. If you do appreciate our project as vital, please donate to support it. All money transfer details are available at our website stopfake.org. See you.